Stones have been worn for adornment since ancient times, treasured for their strength, beauty, and value. Being able to select the right stone and cut for your design is key to its success. In this lesson, you'll learn about the major and most popular stone cuts in fine and high jewelry today, helping you to select the perfect ones for your designs. We'll look at the most popular faceted cuts, smooth cuts, and other cuts. Now let's get familiar with the major faceted stone cuts used by industry professionals today. The Briolette Cut. It was invented in 1919 by Marcel Tolokovsky to take best advantage of the optical properties of the stone, showing a maximum of its fire and brilliance. Today, the Briolette Cut is the most widely used cut for clear, faceted, round stones. It has 58 facets. This is a top view of the Briolette Cut. It consists of the upper girdle facets, the table in the top center, the star facets, and the bezel facets. The Briolette Cut consists of 3 different parts: the crown, which is the top part of the stone, the girdle, which is the belt-like center part, and the pavilion, which is the pointy bottom part below the girdle. At the bottom, we have the lower girdle facets, the culet, which is the bottom center point of the stone, and the pavilion facets. Now we'll move on to the pear cut. This beautiful sparkly drop-shaped stone usually has 58 facets. Pear cuts have been around since the 1400s, but this modern version became popular in the 1900s. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. The Marquis and Baguette Cut. It usually has 58 facets. The first Marquis Cut appeared in Paris in the mid-1700s, when King Louis XV asked his favorite jeweler to create a diamond that resembled the smile of his lover, Marquise Madame de Pompadour. Ever since, the cut was developed and refined until today's version. It's widely used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Heart cut. It has between 56 and 58 facets. Some of the earliest heart-shaped diamonds appeared as early as the 16th century. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Oval cut. It has 58 facets. This modern version was invented in the 1960s by Russian cutter Lazar Kaplan. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. The oval shape optimizes the carat weight so that it can appear larger than a round Briolette cut stone. Princess Cut. It has between 57 to 76 facets. This beautiful cut dates back to 1961, when diamond cutter Arpad Nagy created the profile cut, now known as the Princess Cut. It's a square version of the round Briolette Cut. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Trillion Cut. This beautiful cut has between 31 and 50 facets. It was created by the Henry Mayer Diamond Company in New York in 1962. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. The Usher Cut. It usually has 58 facets. This cut was developed in the early 20th century by Joseph Usher, owner of an Amsterdam-based diamond company. With the shift of the new millennium, the Usher Cut was redesigned with additional facets to bring more brilliance, and has been a really popular cut ever since. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Radiant Cut. This cut has 70 facets. It was designed by Henry Grossbard of the Radiant Cut Diamond Company in 1977. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Emerald Cut. It usually has 57 facets. The term Emerald Cut was born during the Art Deco period. It was developed for emeralds to protect the gems from chipping. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Baguette Cut. It has around 14 facets. It's actually named after the French bread. The Baguette Cut was created sometimes during the 1920s and the 1930s. It's less sparkly than the Briolette Cut, but it offers a lot of heritage and elegance. It's mostly used for clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Trepid Cut. It has around 14 facets. This is a popular diamond cut to accompany and enhance a precious center stone, placing one on each side. It's sometimes also used for other clear, precious, and semi-precious stones. Briolette Cut. The Briolette is one of the earliest diamond cuts. Invented in 1476 by Ludwig van Brequem, a Flemish polisher of Bruges. It's a three-dimensional cut that today has been refined to enhance a stone's beauty to the max. It comes in a lot of different shapes, mostly drops. It's perfect for most stone types. Here are some more versions. The Rose Cut. It usually has 12 to 24 facets, with a dome top and a flat back. The Rose Cut is one of the earliest diamond cuts, dating back to the 15th century. It's a beautiful vintage style that's had a comeback in recent years. One of the main pluses with this cut is that all the bling is placed on top, since the back is flat. Most rose cut stones are round, but they can also have other shapes. Besides for diamonds, it's also popular for an area of semi-opaque and opaque stones, since they don't need a pavilion to add brilliance to the stone. Double Rose Cut. The double rose cut has facets on top and at the bottom, adding more brilliance and reflection to the stone. This cut is great for double-faced looks, like sautoirs or chain bracelets, where the stones roll when you wear them, and when the top and the bottom part needs to look the same. Most double rose cuts are round, but they can also be cut into a variety of different shapes. Just like the regular rose cut, this stone is great also for a range of precious and semi-precious stones. Checkerboard Cut. The most common shapes are rounds, cushions, and ovals, but a lot of other shapes are available, and the number of facets vary. This is a popular cut with different options for the back. The flat back is mostly for opaque and semi-opaque stones. The domed back is for opaque, semi-opaque, and clear stones, great for designs with the stone twists and turns on the body, like sautoirs or drop pendants, while the backs with a faceted pavilion are great for clear stones. Chiseled Cut. The chiseled cut is made with irregular, angular facets. The top of the stone needs to be domed, and the back can be flat, double, or with a pointy pavilion. It's mostly used for semi-precious stones. Now let's move on to the smooth cuts. Smooth stone cuts date back thousands of years. Today they come in a variety of beautiful shapes and sizes. Here are the main, most popular categories. The Cabochon Cut. Let's start with the rounded shapes. Cabochons have smooth, polished surfaces, without facets. The most common rounded shapes are round, ovals, drops, and hearts. The shapes of the side views are the common shape, which is quite low, high, hollow, double, and high with a domed bottom. Most cabochon cuts are geometric, but they can also be cut into a variety of different shapes. Cabochons are mostly popular for opaque, opalescent, and iridescent stones, or gems with a star or cat's eye effect, but it's also used for clear stones. Now to the squared shapes. Most are cushion, rectangular cushions, and square, with pointy or rounded angles. The buff top cut. This fun cut has a smooth dome on top and a faceted pavilion at the bottom. Most buff top cut stones are round, oval, and cushions, but it can be cut into many different shapes. It's mostly used for clear, semi-precious stones. The sugar loaf cut. This is a square cut with a domed, pointy top. The sugar loaf is a beautiful antique cut with a modern edge. It became really popular during the Art Deco period and still is today. The dome is usually high with a flat or domed bottom. The cut is perfect for a wide range of stones, from precious to semi-precious, clear to opaque. Drops and beads. These are three-dimensional cuts. The most popular shapes are spheres or chubby or elongated drops. There's an infinity of different bead and drop shapes on the market. These cuts are perfect for almost all precious and semi-precious stone types. Flat cuts. The rounded shapes. Most flat cuts are made with opaque and semi-opaque stones. There are a lot of different shapes and sizes available on the market. The most popular are round, oval, hearts, squares, cushions, drops, and rectangles. Now we'll move on to the other cuts. Besides the modern classics we just saw, there are some incredible other cuts out there that offer a world of creative possibilities. The Cameo. The Cameo is a gem that's been cut into a relief motive. Shells have been very popular for cutting cameos for a long time. There are also several other stones that lend themselves for this kind of cut, like carnelian and onyx. Intaglio. This cut is done by carving out a concave motif from a stone. It's a really antique cut. Carnelian, onyx, chalcedony, amethyst, and a variety of other stones are great for making intaglio. Pierced flat cuts. This is a fun type of cut where you can create beautiful patterns with the empty spaces. Opaque stones are great for this cut, like mother of pearl, onyx, and agate. Carvings. You can carve entire cuffs, rings, decorative beads, and figurative motifs from a stone. Jade, agate, rose quartz, onyx, lapis, malachite, and rock crystal are just some examples of stones that are great for carvings. There are also very exclusive, mostly smaller sized carvings in emerald, ruby, and sapphire. Organic and rough cuts. There's a wide range of organic and rough cuts on the market, highlighting the natural beauty of raw gems. Among the favorites are rough diamonds and druzy agates. Doublets and triplets. A doublet is two different stones that have been glued together. Triplets are three different types of stones glued together. The sizes and cuts vary. Doublets are mostly used for silver and fine jewelry. Before you start to select the perfect stone cuts for your design, there is an important thing you need to know. Buying a vendor's standard cuts is a lot less expensive and faster than commissioning new cuts or custom-made sizes. That's the beauty of going to the stone fairs. You get the chance to see amazing things that inspire you, getting up to date with new trends, meeting with vendors, and taking all the important information and a sample or two with you back home to make beautiful, cost-effective designs using the latest cuts and stones available on the market. With this, I'm not saying not to customize cuts and sizes for your designs. The world of stones and stone cutting offers incredible possibilities for you to personalize cuts and shapes, where your imagination and good sense is the only limit. In this lesson, you also get a great handbook packed with everything you just learned, together with useful charts to give you an overview of all of the main stone cuts. Just download it and go back to it as a reference anytime you need to. Now that you've learned about the major types of stone cuts used in the industry today, you're ready to move on to the next lesson where you'll learn about settings.